Let's journey back in time to a fascinating period, and look into European exploration and trading in the pre-colonial era of South Africa. Before European exploration and trading began, indigenous tribes lived in South Africa, each with its distinctive culture, such as the Zulus, the Basotho, the Indebele, the Batswana, the Bavenda and others. These tribes used to barter with each other, which means they used to trade with each other. European exploration of Africa began in the 15th century, driven by a multitude of factors including the desire for wealth, trade, prestige, and the spread of Christianity. Portuguese explorers, notably Bartolomeu Dias and Vasco da Gama, set sail along the African coastline, establishing trade routes and access to the lucrative Indian Ocean trade. These early explorations eventually led to the establishment of Portuguese colonies along the east coast of Africa. As European powers expanded their interests, the Dutch East India Company emerged as a dominant player in the Indian Ocean trade. They established a refreshment station at Cape of Good Hope, present-day Cape Town, in 1652. This marked the beginning of European settlement in South Africa, initially focusing on providing supplies for ships traveling between Europe and Asia. The Dutch introduced livestock farming and agriculture, leading to the subsequent migration of European settlers known as Boers, who had a profound impact on South African history. In the late 18th century, British colonial interests began to exert influence in the region. The British seized Cape Colony in 1795 but returned it to the Dutch in 1803. However, British control was permanently established in 1806, following the Napoleonic Wars. Under British rule, the Cape Colony expanded its territory, incorporated indigenous populations, and transformed the economic and social fabric of the region. The pre-colonial era European exploration and trading in South Africa had profound consequences for the local population. Indigenous communities encountered Europeans through trade relationships, which resulted in the exchange of goods, technologies, and ideas. However, this interaction also brought devastating consequences such as the introduction of diseases, land appropriation, and the erosion of indigenous cultures. The emergence of European settlements and the subsequent colonization of South Africa sowed the seeds of the South African liberation struggle. Over time, tensions between the indigenous population and European colonizers intensified, as the latter imposed racial segregation, discriminatory policies, and economic exploitation. The Boers, having established their independent republics in Transvaal and the Orange Free State, sought to maintain their own political and social control. The struggle for liberation in South Africa reached its peak in the 20th century. Movements such as the African National Congress, ANC emerged, aiming to challenge the discriminatory policies and oppressive system of apartheid implemented by the white minority government. The ANC, alongside other organizations such as the Pan Africanist Congress and the South African Communist Party, played a pivotal role in mobilizing and organizing resistance against the apartheid regime. In summary, the pre-colonial era European exploration and trading in South Africa provided the foundation for the subsequent colonization and imposition of apartheid. The arrival of European powers, their trade routes, and settlement patterns had far-reaching consequences for the indigenous population, setting the stage for the struggle for liberation that would define South Africa's history in the 20th century.